Hello, fellow chronic illness warriors. Look forward to connecting with. And as you're connecting, I am spontaneously recording live on TikTok and YouTube. Do feel free to connect and let me know where you're connecting from. And as part of connecting as well, you never know who you could connect with as part of this process and resonate with. So the reason that I do or have started these lives and the motivating factor is to connect with like-minded Fibro warriors and also to help support in minimizing loneliness, isolation that comes with living with a chronic illness. And today's topic that I wanted to discuss, you also might be watching this on replay, so you can also interact during the replay. I'll be going back to replying to everybody as well. And thanks for your contributions in advance. So the topic that I wanted to focus on today is how to find purpose during challenging times. And it can be also very challenging when you're living with a chronic illness. So for example, from being a person who was very productive to be somebody who is now having to navigate the world in a different way. That can seem very challenging when you're having to rethink about what you're going to do career-wise, or it might be another venture to think about how you will manage with navigating with your condition. So you might also be in this position where you feel as though you are stuck in your current employment, have no option. So how do you find purpose and meaning within all of that? It's not an easy journey to navigate, but it's something that is possible. And also the information that I share, education purposes only, and it's not providing advice that is, or sharing experiences that is a definitive, sharing common experiences for educational purposes. So finding purpose, the way I began in finding my purpose and reason for being is I started to look at how I could realistically manage with my condition in terms of work-life balance. And the things that I focused on specifically was how am I going to, what type of quality life do I want? And at the time of my diagnosis, I also didn't have the option. I was forced out of the career that I was used to. Okay, so I was forced out of that. So I had to make decisions very quickly. As you're connecting, feel free to say hello. So I had to make quick decisions and decide how I was going to find a meaningful purpose. But that decision did not come very quickly. So I'm here to also say that if you're making any decision or thinking that you have to make immediate decisions about what your purpose is going to be, it doesn't have to be immediate, because being diagnosed with a severe and debilitating chronic illness, that in itself is hard enough. You have to allow yourself the space and the time to heal, the space and the time to actually discover what you're going through, get a diagnosis, then navigate having to deal with a chronic illness self, and then looking at how you can live a purposeful and meaning lifestyle. And sometimes that's very difficult. It's very challenging to come to a conclusion as to what that lifestyle will look like, especially if everything feels like it's been taken away from you instantaneously. Okay, it feels like you have control with how your life will look like ultimately, because you've been given no option as a result of this diagnosis. So the way I started to then start venturing out to discover what my purpose was through the challenging times was learning. Okay, I started through learning, and the learning was online. I just joined groups which I thought I could read on positively, which could encourage me to then develop a different mindset through the pain and the suffering. Okay, so this is through the pain and suffering of a chronic illness. And it can also, and it can be that you're going through like a specific life event and you're struggling with finding how to move beyond those challenges. So I community Facebook pages, and at the time it was self-development, mindset development, and like minds, people who I was amazed actually at how many people were looking for this change in their life. When I went for instance, I ended up going to live events in London, and the first event that I went to was at 8 a.m. So I'll just acknowledge everybody that's hopped on. Thank you for joining. Do feel free to interact. If you've discovered your purpose, do feel free to share. Connect as well. You never know who you might connect with through this live. So the first event I went to, I arrived there at 8 p.m. And there were, not 8 p.m., 8 a.m., excuse me. And there was lots of people there. And I looked around and I thought, what are all these people doing here at this time? And it was on a weekend. And there was about 300 or 400 people who came to listen to this speaker, to about 2 or 3 speakers. And the topic matter was about, discovering like your passion and learning how to develop a growth mindset. And I sat through there. My first decision was, I'm going to interact and I'm going to face my fears during this seminar. I'm not going to sit back. I'm going to do things that challenge me. Okay, I'm going to do things that challenge me. The things in my stomach make me feel uncomfortable, make me feel queasy, and part of that was getting up, speaking, or being in front like of a major audience. So when one of the main presenter or speaker asked a question, I put my hand up and he said, "What's your life passion?" And I said, "It's quality assurance." And then he looked at me. He was like, "Are you sure about that?" It sounds like, hi for everybody that's acknowledging you. Thanks for connecting on YouTube or TikTok. Thank you for connecting. I'm simultaneously recording on both platforms. That's another challenge for me. I put my hand up and I said, my life purpose is quality assurance. And he said, that sounds like your job. It doesn't sound like something that you're passionate about. So he recommended for to revisit that. And part of the session was about looking at the things that you enjoyed when you were younger. Okay? Things that you did easily and didn't give a second thought to. And that was his suggestion, is that you take the time to look at things that you enjoy and then also connect with at least 3 people in your life that know you to level, or in terms of things that they know that you're good at. Okay, things who would tell you like what you're great at. So I was talking to a few people that I was close to as well. And that's where you also get some of the clues about what your purpose could be. Okay, through challenging times, especially if you're looking to navigate beyond changing like your career, changing your lifestyle. There'll be people in your life that will tell you, or that will give you certain clues. They will tell you things such as, you are great at being a good listener, you find it easily to talk to people, or you find it easily to solve such and such problems. So those type of things started adding up, and then I started making note of them. Then the other thing to also recognize is thank and bank people. When people are giving you compliments, so also do tap just to acknowledge that you're here, and if anything resonates with as well, to let me know. If you've got any similar experiences as well, feel free to engage. So those type of examples is that when you jot things down, it will all start to add up, and then start to make sense about what your specific skills are. So I moved beyond quality assurance is my passion, and I connected with how I always wanted to help people. So when I was in the office, when I was in the corporate sector, I used to look out the window. I used to think, I want to be helping people. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I know that I want to be assisting people. and my job feels restricted, I feel like I'm in this box where I don't have, or I don't feel like I have the flexibility to be as creative or as free due to administrative processes. And there's a reason and purpose for that, but that model didn't seem. So ironically or coincidentally, life determined or just sent something my way. It for me in the opposite direction, in that although I'd created a 5-year strategy to exit my career, life determined I wanted to do something else. Within 3 years of developing my 5-year exit strategy for my career, I was diagnosed with debilitating chronic illness, okay, known as fibromyalgia, ME, and CS for those who are not familiar. And that threw me off, of course. It also threw me in terms of that lost my sense of purpose and my reason why. I felt like what I was planning to do was going to be fulfilled, because then I was stuck with what I had been diagnosed with, and that I wouldn't be able to do it physically and mentally. Okay, so that was at that time. Flash forward, things look a little bit different, because I had to go through a process where when you're going through life challenges, obviously, when you're hit by something, it can throw you off course, where you feel like you've been thrown off, you've lost balance. And then slowly, it's about finding the ways to overcome. It's about finding the ways to overcome that in order then to reconnect with your reason why and your purpose and your reason, what it looks like. We kind of make it very complicated, okay? There are times when we make it complicated. I'm going to recognize everybody who's joined in. Feel free to say hi, tap the screen, and also interact. You never know who you may connect with. And so how we make it for ourselves, I think we look for the perfect picture on what our life should be like. And this is also based on social standards, upbringing, because we're used to a certain model of what, patients. And then we also want to fit into this model of, I need to achieve this by yesterday, and lacking the patience to allow the opportunity for growth and to make mistakes. Okay, so before I hopped on here, I had scheduled for 7 o'clock to hop on. And then 7 o'clock came. What was I doing at 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock, I was editing videos. Did I need videos at that specific time? No. Okay, I did edit videos at that specific time. So my mind, I knew that I was procrastinating. Something was holding me back. Okay, so what was holding me back? I was in the back of my mind was, I'm going to get on live. There might not be anybody watching, or I might get on a live. I might make mistakes, yada yada. The self-talk that goes on, and was passing, and then it was 7:30. Okay, so that is something that will probably hold you back. So it's not a perfection. It's about when those moments happen. It's being open and honest with yourself and tell yourselves the truth about what is holding you back. Okay, so that you're able to push beyond that and then to step into the things that make you feel nervous, the things that make you feel uncomfortable, that make you feel like uncertain. You don't know how it's going to look like. Okay, you don't know what the outcome is going to look like, because that's how life is, and that's how your purpose also pans out. You don't know what your purpose is going to look like. If any of this is resonating, do feel free to let me know if you've ever sat down, looked at outlining your purpose and thought, yes, this is what I want to do. And if you're a content creator, what motivated you to start creating content? Is it something that's aligned with your life vision, your purpose, and you think, yes, this is what actually nourishes me every day? So the other thing a purpose will do for you, a purpose will also give you this sense of fulfillment. It'll give you this sense of joy. So regardless of what's going on externally, like the life challenges we face, financial challenges high for everybody who's connecting, and I'm recognizing. Thanks for connecting. Let me know where you're connecting from. So then, yes, all these signs will be there in terms of your life purpose. So if it's something that's really connected to you internally, you would do it very easily. Your creativity will spark as a reason of this. You will no longer feel like you're in this headspace where you have to, it comes to you naturally and easily, and you're able to connect with people. And what it looks like is something, what makes it easy is that your purpose is about serving other people, okay? Serving other people and helping other people. So what does this look like? It's about providing education and information, for instance. It's resonates with somebody, be designing or creating art, singing, something that taps into a soul of somebody that resonates with them, it connects with them, and that is your purpose. That's your like you're fulfilling that vision, you're connecting with it, and you're testing yourself along the way. Okay, you're testing yourself along the way when you feel that sense of fulfillment and that sense of serve people. Okay, where we may make mistakes is, for instance, if you are a content creator, and if you are to feel free, hi, I'm a content creator. This resonates with me as a content creator. You will create videos, post them, have a look throughout the day to say, oh, I've got no views, I've got 100 views, or I've got 200 views. That's not enough. Okay, I'm not doing very well. I need to get to this goal. I need to make something out of this. I need to make money very quickly. I've seen other people doing it. It looks very easy. You know, they do it so easily. All those are natural thoughts to have. But what may more you focus on how many people are watching, how many views you've got, you start to lose your purpose and your drive. Your focus then becomes only about, what you're going to get out of it. Okay, then you lose that sense of purpose, you lose the joy and excitement in your creativity, in creating content naturally. Okay, your focus becomes, I'm driven, for instance, by money. But if you're not getting money, then you think that you're failing, which is not an accurate representation. Okay, so when you show up purposefully to serve other people, offer something that could be of value, one person receives that message, that is sufficient, believe it or not. Now imagine if it's 200, 300 people. If you were in the same room with those people, how would that be? Okay, those numbers of people are still sufficient. What's most important is that you're showing up your purpose on a constant basis. Okay, you're showing up, and then people will start to connect with you, will start to resonate with what you're sharing. Okay, so that's being on purpose, living purposefully. All right, so I'm going to end it off here. I hopped on here. Okay, I'm seeing girl. Okay, so I've seen a comment from Shay saying, girl, you got this. Always follow your dreams. Absolutely, I agree with that. You always have to follow your dreams. Okay, you have to live through your purpose, your vision, and never let any other things deter you from ah yeah, so the intuitive things that connect with you, do connect with that. Okay, do that. And if it comes with fear as well, even better, because then fear will then challenges for you, because if you're sitting comfortably, your purpose won't show. And how do you solve that purpose thing? How do you become purposeful in life? Is just remember every day that you're here for a reason, for a purpose. Okay, and regardless of what's going on in the world, there's so many crazy things happening in the world, and there'll always be crazy stuff. There'll always be crazy stuff. focus more on tapping into things that give you something that, like, let's say, what is it? The joie de vivre, that give you life. The things that enable you to feel like empowered. So like listening to podcasts, which you're learning from as part of your personal development. That also help you to into like your creativity and the things that you enjoy. When you're looking online, tapping into the things that bring you this little ray of lights, the joyful things. It's not to say we neglect that there are challenges out there. No, it's still acknowledging that there are challenges in this world, and and acknowledging those, and then banking them, and then also sticking with your life vision and your purpose, and that will make you more resilient through everything else. So I'd like to thank everyone that's hopped on TikTok and on YouTube on this live, and I look forward to connecting with you on another live. And as I go off, I'd just like to recognize everybody who joined on YouTube and on TikTok. I will say hi as much as possible, and do feel free to connect to be kept up to date with my next live. Ciao for me for now.